Good evening, everyone. It is November 16th, 2021, 7:30 p.m. Regular City Council meeting in the city of West Liberty, Iowa. All councilors except for Councilor Kara McFerrin is present. Lee Gertz, City Treasurer Clerk, is present. Also, City Manager David Hoagland. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Motion to approve. Is there a second? And second. And is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0. We have 3 items tonight underneath our consent agenda. Those 3 are the regular council meeting minutes of November 2nd, the special city council meeting minutes of November 10th, and city clerk treasurer report September 2021.
Motion. Second.
Motion and second. Is there any further?
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to point out that the treasurer's report is on your desk. And this is the September. So if you were to look at your cash and investment sheet, I just want to point out, if you remember, this is before property tax goes in. Oh, it was there. But, so your general fund is showing a negative balance, but again, that happens before our property tax is deposited here in October. So then that'll go back into the positive once the property tax comes in. Other than that, everything appears to be on track with our cash. And we'll be reviewing the budget for some budget amendments. So that's all I had to add.
Okay.
For the treasurer's report.
Thank you, Lee. Is there any further questions or discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0. We have a vendor voucher claims list in front of us tonight for $540,146.09.
Motion. Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
These yeah. PS3 Enterprises, all the porta potties. Is that for the year, the summer, the season?
I think
we're done.
That is for the final part of this. I think we pay a half of it at the 1st of June, and then the other portion at the end when they pick them up.
Okay.
So this would be like the second portion.
So basically just closing out our season of porta potties.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And some of them might be just one time depending on their use and how many times they have to
come in.
I'd have to take a look at the entire contract for sure, Diane. So
thank you.
Okay. Is there any further questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0. This is time for public comments and/or correspondence. Anyone from the public? Doesn't look like we have anybody from the audience here in person. What about Zoom? Is there anyone present for Zoom?
I have Leo and Dana, but I don't have anybody raising their hand. Hold on a second. Saying there's no on here.
I think that was part.
Oh, okay.
Well, it looks like it says 7:30.
Oh, yeah.
You want to type, see if anybody can hear it. Leo, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you guys just fine.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Said, yeah. Okay. Great.
Okay, sounds great. Just want to make sure. Okay, let's go around. Counselor Veronica?
No.
Smith?
Nothing.
Is that correct? Hey, administration, Lee or Dave, do you have anything?
I just have some comments towards the end.
Okay.
I do not, Mr. Mayor.
And I do not have any comments. Dave, do you want to do them underneath?
I was just going to do under reports.
Okay.
Just
sounds great.
Highlight it.
Okay. We'll go ahead and head on to old business. City Council discussion, appropriate follow-up to accept and file the agreed upon procedures for the water and sewer utility billing by Bowman and Miller PC.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further questions or discussion?
Mr. Mayor, again, just a reminder, this is the report that we did review at the work session at the beginning of the month.
Okay. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0.
So, Mr. Mayor, I will contact Taylor and let him know that it's been filed and then it will be filed with the state.
Okay. Thank you. And we have discussion and possible follow-up for the City Hall railing installment.
In your packet this evening, you should have received the bids that we received. Looking at steel and aluminum and stainless steel bid. Staff and looking at it felt that the aluminum is going to match the storefront of City Hall better with the aluminum windows and the doors. We would recommend that you approve the railing or the aluminum railing with Quartz Marker Services LLC, $100. This is the one piece that's keeping us from opening the front doors. Once the railing's installed, we get our certificate of occupancy from Terry and be able to open the front door and start serving the public.
And he's going to be able to do this.
When we talked to his father, we told Tom that we wanted by the end of November, and that we kind of hope to move. And I asked if it would be a problem, and he said it should be a problem.
Okay.
Just for that other piece of railing too, or is it? It's just the handrail.
It's for everything.
Really?
There'll be there's handrail on
right, the long one along
both
the
sides,
along the face of it.
and along the face, and then that corner that we talked
right.
about
Yep.
is going to
Okay, I just seen it. Okay.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the aluminum railing with word spotter.
Okay.
There's been a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0. We're on to new business. The first item is St. Joseph's Catholic Church use of the public right-of-way, which is the streets, and the assistance from the police department and assistance for Our Lady of Guadalupe procession, which would be on December 12th. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second? Motion and a second. Jose got a second. Any discussion? Chief, I know you've been here a short time. Did you kind of get a way fill you in and kind of some of the festivals and different processions and parades?
We'll get there.
Okay. Don't see any issue.
Are they going to have horses?
No,
No horses.
This is
Just
this is
asking.
this is a procession that they've done annually. They have the festival dancers, but no horses, no livestock, no agriculture, nothing. Just, yeah.
Honestly,
I think
the supernational Hollywood next. Is it?
Well, I know we've done it before. I just couldn't remember if this is one that had horses in it or not.
I think it was the last one that you were thinking about.
That was
where
the
we were
festival.
talking about.
Festival.
Just checking.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Okay. Any further? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0.
I'll get that filed with Chief so he has that information in time.
Sounds great. We have resolution 2021-1116-71, and this is a resolution approving for the filing of the tax increment financing indebtedness certification and directing certification be filed with the county auditor's office no later than December 1st.
Motion.
Second, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, Councilmember Rock.
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias.
Yes.
Yes.
Councilmember
Yes.
passes 4-0. We get that filed. Resolution -72, which is resolution approving the filing of the urban renewal report for the fiscal year 2020-2021 to the Iowa Department of Management.
Second.
Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. Councilmember Zacharias.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
And Rob.
Yes.
Passes 4-0.
Mr. Mayor, this report was in addition with your treasurer's report on your desk. And the report again just covers the tax increment fine in for debt, general obligation bonds for street improvement, and our TIF rebates with Short Street. That is all.
Okay. We're on to resolution -73, resolution obligating funds from the Urban Renewal Tax Revenue Fund for apportionation to the payments annual tax increment finance obligations, which shall come due in the next succeeding fiscal year. And this would be Geary LLC for phase 1 in the amount of $20,167. Geary also for phase 2, $17,366. Membership to We Lead, $53,750. Professional administrative fees, $160,000, and the URA revitalization grant program in the amount of $100,000.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any further?
Again, these are just your annual appropriations that are tied to your tax increment finance for those items, including the rebates to the development agreement in place. If you remember, originally it was an Alta Venture and then it's transferred over to Deepak. And then We Lead and the professional administration is a breakdown with our communications specialist, building inspector, manager, city clerk, and then your urban renewal revitalization program, which is the $100,000 a year that our community can apply for revitalization.
Is there any questions? Hearing none. Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Rock?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Zacharias?
Yes.
Passes 4-0. We have resolution -74. This is a resolution approving the street finance report for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2021, which was this past fiscal year ending this past June. And it's authorizing the clerk to file with the Iowa Department of Transportation.
Motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, just a quick, so originally the street finance report was due at the end of September, but that has changed now. That is due December 1. And again, it's in line with the annual financial reports, and these are all tied together. So just so you know that that's the reason why we didn't have it at the end of September and we have it at the end of November. So.
Thank you. Anything further? Hearing none. Councilmember Rock?
Yes.
Councilmember Brown?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yeah.
Councilmember Zacharias? Passes 4-0. We need to set a date for a public hearing to dispose of 2 Reviver AEDs, which is currently the property of the West Liberty Police Department, and Officer Kim to give those to the John D. Is it Gumke charity, and that so a public hearing to donate property that is bought by taxpayers' funds, and so we would like to have that public hearing on December 7th, which would be our next council meeting.
Motion to set the public hearing.
Second.
Motion and second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0. I thought Kim did a very very fine job with her letter that was in her packet.
It was a really neat idea, and especially where it's going. So I was fully in favor of her signing that in.
Also, looks like we need to set a work session for December 21st at 6:30 p.m. And this is going to be for the new officials. Anything further? Do you want to expand on
so December 21st, we will do the official swearing in. And then they'll take they'll take their positions the 1st of January, of course. But Attorney Austin had stated that he would like to do a work session, closed session, to bring them up to speed on some of our legal things and see if they have any questions. So,
Okay, motion.
Second.
Motion and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Passes 4-0. We're on to reports. Engineer, how are you doing tonight?
Very good. I've got 3 things to report on. One is well number 2. Lovewell Fence got in and put the double gate in that we contracted with them for. It looked good. We looked at it this week. Next step is Kenny Morrison has to get up on top and fix the roof so we can get a rig down through the roof. Kenny had told me that would take about 1 day. I'm hoping he can get in there either the end of this week or early next week. And then we need to get Northway in there to do the brushing and televising. So things are starting to click, and hopefully we'll get that done before weather gets too bad here. I did talk to Northway about doing it in cold weather, and they said as long as Ed could handle cold weather getting into the plant, which Ed said is fine as long as there's not water or snow or something like that. So I think we're moving in the right direction there. Also, met with City Manager Hoagland on the Rainbow and Maxon project, just to bring everybody back around up to speed. We ended up combining those 2 projects that are in the CIP. It ended up being about a $2 million construction project. We have 4 alternatives, and we're going to come to you at the next council meeting with a little bit more of an extended presentation on those 4 alternatives with costs. The costs are all below the CIP number. So I think we're in pretty good position to make some good choices. We understand there's probably going to be a subdivision to the north, and we also know about Dutton and how we want to connect in with some trail things. So all those kind of things will be shown to you at the next council meeting. The next thing is the emergency management plan, which is the final piece of the risk and resilience. That's due by the end of December. It's probably a 2 or 3 week effort, full time for us. I gave City Manager Hoagland a contract today on that. So that'll come up at your next meeting also. And we're in heavy duty finishing up some of that for some others. So that's all I had, unless people have questions.
Questions for Leo? Okay, Leo, thank you.
Thank you.
City staff meetings, City Manager Hoagland.
Just one thing that I noted in the minutes from the staff meeting, and talked about the code update. It said 12 to 15 weeks. You would call that's 12 to 15 months. That's all right. I just want to point that out that it's not going to happen in 3 months. This morning, Ken Brooks with Wheelie and I met with Casey Bell. We talked a little further about her project. I've got our city attorney working on a lease. Have talked with her banker to see what they needed to see in their lease. And told Casey we're going to try to get a lease put together here quickly, and that it's all open for discussion. If there's something there that she doesn't like, bring it back.
What type of length are we talking about with the lease?
It'll be they are looking for a 5-year lease with 4 or 5 year renewals, because supposedly, tentatively, their financing is spread out over 25 years. They pay it off sooner. There's some things to change, but it wouldn't be longer than 25 years to start. So 5-year with 4 5-year renewals.
And the renewals would have to come back for discussion. Or is it automatic?
I'm sure there'll be some language in there that if there were an issue, that it would have to come back for discussion. If things are going fine, typically they'll just automatically renew unless one of the parties wants to discuss something. Is the way I've set them up in the past. That can be a question that you can ask Jay to talk about.
Okay. Well, we're stuck in one lease. I'm
I'm
a little leery about
looking
leases.
at a 99-year lease. I'm looking at 5 with potentially 4 or 5-year extensions.
Okay. Well,
I understand.
I'm a little gun shy.
I understand. Also this week, we've got IMWCA is going to be out there to do some site visits. They're going to look at a few of our facilities, so I'll spend a little time with them. Our staff has safety training tomorrow from 8 to 10. And then I've got a call scheduled with John Daniels later this week to continue the discussion on potential development agreement for Vicey subdivision. Brad did provide all of his updated costs, provided information regarding the type of homes and the value that those homes will probably sell for, which I've forwarded on to John to kind of expedite this process. So I will have that conversation this week. And if you're out and about Friday night between 4 and 6, I'll be ringing the bell for the Red Kettle at Gary's BP. And then again on December 3rd and 10th, I'll be at Jeff's Market from 4 to 6 ringing the Red Kettle. So be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for the manager? Okay, thank you, Dave. Clerk update to rededicate statue.
Just a update. So we reached out to Ken, and he has organized Ken Brooks with the We Lead. He has organized the Boy Scouts to come in and assist with the rededication. I have contacted Chuck Newcomb. He has his speech already prepared for the rededication. So it'll be at 5:15 on November 21st. That is following at the end of the holiday stroll, right before the tree lighting. I think we've got it arranged that we'll have the Boy Scouts present the colors too with that as well. And part of that will be having Chuck present, and then I've asked Ken to speak on behalf of the Boy Scouts, and then I will close it out with the individuals that have and organizations that have donated towards the statue to get it refurbished. And the only other thing from the chamber, Melissa and I did discuss, she had asked for a special event permits for golf carts to shuttle people back and forth. And I said, per our ordinance, they can get the special permits, but we'll have to have, I went over with her what we need to have, and I'll get with Chief to make sure that we have all of the golf cart drivers' information, and then we'll provide them a temporary permit based on a color that Chief and I choose, and we'll be the only ones that know that. So that way we can have those permits posted on their carts for that day only. The other thing is that they're going to have the fire pits again. And again, that is covered under their insurance. So that is all under their umbrella. So, and they had them the year before last, because we didn't have it, and everything went well with it. And then they have folks that clean it up and everything. So from the looks of it, it looks like they have a pretty packed event, and there's a lot of the retail businesses that are already kicking off with events in the downtown coming up for the weekend. So is there any questions that you have about the
golf cart should just be between like the fairgrounds and downtown?
Yes, she has the route, and I will give that to Chief, and that's the only route that they're able to take. And again, they'll have a special permit identified with a color, so we can, we'll know those from any other ones that they're off the path that they're supposed to go. So I had her provide all of that information along with the insurance to make sure what was covered under their insurance with the fire permits and the golf carts and things like that. So it's all under their umbrella for the event. So, and I'll make sure that Chief has all that information as well. So, is there anything else that you folks, again, I think we're planning on about a 15 to 20 minute at the most. Again, we want to allow Chuck an opportunity to, he'd already shared a little bit of history. Diana, I may need to touch base with you on a couple of things before, because I know we've had some stuff put together, yeah, gonna get it done.
That's great.
Good deal. Okay, any questions for Lee?
I have one. The budget planning timeline that you put in with our packet.
Yes, it's just a draft.
Yeah, okay.
Just something.
On the 18th of January, it says budget work session following the regular meeting. Are we gonna do it after the regular meeting? We usually do them before the regular.
Oh,
I'm just asking.
I probably, yeah, it would be before.
Okay.
Yes.
That was just, when I was looking through it, that's just jumped out at me.
Yep, I'll make sure I
I don't know that I want to do a budget work session at 8:30.
Right. Just trying to put something, again, with us, things are closing in on us because here we are, we're trying to get, back into City Hall, and then before you know it, it's at the end of the calendar year, and then it's, we're still between 2 fiscal years, and hope we hear something about our audit here pretty soon, but yeah, I'll make sure that, so thank you.
Is there any counselors that had any committee meetings or any other obligation meetings with counselors? Seeing none, I'd welcome a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? We're closed.